In this video, we'll go through an easy way to check if your alternator is faulty, how to remove and replace it on your Mercedes GLS 450. If you get this message pop up on your dash, it's indicative of a few things, but most commonly a bad alternator, and here's how we're going to check it. First, you want to make sure that your vehicle's ignition switch is in the accessory position and your driver door is closed. On your instrument cluster, scroll to where you can see your mileage information. Then on your steering wheel, you're going to want to hit the call button and immediately hit the OK button. Hold those buttons down until you see your dash change from the mileage information to your service info. Once you do that, hit OK for vehicle data, and you'll see the current voltage of your vehicle. You see here I'm at 11.9 volts. That's a little bit low. And as I turn the car on, we should see that jump up to about 14. Here, it drops to 11.7. That lets you know the alternator is not producing a charge. And if I leave the vehicle running long enough, the battery error message will pop up. If you don't trust the vehicle's readout, or if you just want to do it the old school way or confirm, take a meter, put it across the chassis and the charge post here. You see I'm only showing about 9 volts. We're going to swap this alternator out. We're going to start by taking our front passenger seat, bringing it all the way forward and all the way up. That gives us access to the battery compartment. You want to take off this panel here, use a 10mm socket to back this negative cable off and just keep it to the side. We're going to pop this engine cover off. Comes off very easily. Just take off this little rubber boot here, and then there's just little plugs that hold it in. After that, we're going to take off these 2 air intake ducts. Now, it's easy to do. They kind of just, like an accordion, they bend in the middle, and there's one of those little plugs that hold it down. So if you just use a little force right in the middle, it'll pop up and you can just unsnap them from both sides. Next, we're going to remove this pipe that goes down to the turbo intercooler, and it's attached by a few different things. First, there's an e-Torx bolt up top there. At the bottom of the pipe where it connects to the intercooler, it's a regular hose clamp style fitting. And then towards the middle of the pipe, there is a bracket that is held on to the alternator. Now there was a little trial and error here. I'm trying to get this bolt out that holds the bracket, and it's easy to get that out. It's what goes through the alternator and holds it in place. But getting the bracket out, you really need to do it from the wheel well, so we're going to go do that now. What you're going to need to do is pull this wheel off and remove that inner fender, inner wheel well liner. I suggest getting a set of these pucks here. They fit right into this little cradle here, and it provides a nice lifting point for your vehicle. Also, if you have locks, remember to find that first. To get this liner out, there are 2 10mm nylon nuts that I'm taking off right now. There are 4 screws underneath. And then there's 3 little body pins or fender pins. You're going to want to use the right tool to get them out because they're kind of stubborn. I'll put a link to the tool below. With the liner out, you can see the alternator. It's easy to get to, and you can see the bracket that holds that pipe in. And there's one e-Torx bolt that holds that together. And I'm going to take that off now before taking the bracket from the alternator itself, just to give myself more room in there. We're going to come underneath. We're going to remove this panel here altogether. Then we're going to take some screws out of the larger panel and let that hang low so we can get to these parts. From underneath, you undo the hose clamp that holds this pipe on. You come back up top and you wiggle it off and set it to the side. With that pipe out of the way, you have a lot more room. Here we're going to take off the rubber cap that protects this bolt. We're going to back that off and take that cable and put it to the side. But remember, before you do that, make sure your battery cable is undone. Here's a close-up of that post with the cable removed. Now there's a plug here, a harness with only 1 wire on it, and I found it very difficult to take off while the alternator was connected, especially since OEM there'll be a wire tie connecting that harness to the back of the alternator. It's easier to take the alternator off and then rotate it and then have access to get your hand in there and unplug it. Before the alternator comes off, you'll need to take off the belt, and you do that by pulling back on this tensioner pulley. There is an issue with this vehicle in that the tool you would normally use right here, there's not enough clearance to use this bar, but there's also not enough clearance to use a regular socket and ratchet because of the intercooler. So if you use this kit here with a shallow socket, just slightly smaller, you're able to get in there with a regular ratchet. And once you do that, you pull back on that tensioner pulley and you can slip the belt off of the pulley of the alternator. Once that's done, you can back out the 4 E-Torx bolts that mount this alternator. Take the 2 top bolts out first, then get up underneath and back out the 2 bottom bolts. Use caution when backing out that last bolt because it'll loosen up. You don't want that to just fall. Loosen the bolt up and then get your arm up in there. You'll have to put some upward pressure kind of holding up the alternator as you back out that bolt just to make sure you let it set down easily. With the alternator detached, carefully rotate it to give yourself access to that plug, that wire harness. Use a pick or a small screwdriver if you need it. Use caution. Those plugs sometimes get brittle over time. Unplug it, and then you're going to have to wiggle this alternator out through this opening. It's a tight fit, but you can get this out from the top. Just make sure you don't put too much pressure on these other parts. This little block here with the small hoses, you can unscrew that, 2 small Torx screws, move that out of the way, give yourself a little bit more clearance. While it's out, reach down there, grab that harness, inspect it. Make sure there's no frays there, no breaks in the wires. Make sure the little tab is still working where it'll connect and click back in to the new alternator. I'm all about saving money. A brand new one is about $1,800. Remanufactured between $300 and $500. I got this for $160 from a salvage vehicle, guaranteed and tested to work. I'm going to use a little silk glide on these hoses here just to make it a little easier to slide this thing through. But once you get the new alternator in place, don't just let it fall down in there. Set it down gently. Give yourself some room to wiggle that and rotate the alternator to get access to that plug. Make sure that harness is snapped in and it's secure. Then you can start to rotate this alternator back into place and start putting those 4 bolts back in. Now it's going to be easier for me to get this one top bolt in without putting the bracket yet. I'll come back and redo it. But it just helps me get this alternator in place, helps me get the other 3 bolts in. With that one top bolt in, I'm going to come down bottom and get the 2 bottom bolts in. And this time, since it's in place, I'll be able to thread it through the bracket as it's supposed to be. With the bottom done, we come back up top and you can see since the bracket is in properly down bottom, it's almost lining up with this bolt up top. But before I thread that properly, I'm going to just install that rear bolt to stabilize the alternator. Then I'll take out the forward bolt, thread it through the bracket, cinch everything down. Now I'm going to use this air ratchet to get all the bolts somewhat tightened, but I will come back with a regular ratchet just to make sure they're torqued down well. With the alternator securely mounted, come back over, pull up on that tensioner pulley, and get the belt back over the alternator's pulley. And make sure the belt is lined up over all of the other components. Next, grab that cable that provides charge back into your system, thread it onto that bolt, tighten the nut onto it, and then cover it with that rubber boot. After that, thread that pipe back up through. The pipe is held on up top by just an O-ring, so the clamp has a little slit in it that fits into somewhat of a flange. That's what holds it together up top. So when you're putting it back together, you want to make sure that that slit slides into that flange. You're going to tighten that down with that E-Torx screw. For that bracket, tightening down this E-Torx is a little bit difficult to get to. I found it easy to use the E-Torx socket with the swivel and an extension, and you can get right in there and tighten it down. Next, come back to the wheel well. You're going to have to move that bracket a little bit and that pipe to line up the holes, but use that same extension and socket and swivel to get that E-Torx onto the bracket. Come back to the engine compartment. Make sure you remount this little block here. Just do a quick inspection of your hoses, any parts here, anything that might have come undone or possibly damaged from trying to get that alternator out. Once you do that, come back down bottom, cinch up that hose clamp, and inspect your belt. Make sure it's lined up. With all of that tightened up, go back and reconnect your negative battery cable. It's a 10mm socket. Here I caught myself being lazy and using a ratchet, but you really want to do this by hand. Install your air intake ducts in the reverse fashion, the engine cover, and don't forget to connect that rubber boot up front. Head back into your vehicle. Use that button combination to get your dash to show your car's diagnostic mode, and select vehicle data again to show your voltage. Turn your car on and you should see that voltage jump up to about 14. Now you know that your alternator is producing a charge and its job was successful. To finish this job, you just put your vehicle back together in the reverse fashion. The worst thing you can do is start a vehicle job, or any job for that matter, and not have the right tools. So I'll put a link below to some of the things I've used in this video. I like making videos like this to show people it's easy to do things yourself, and of course to save money while doing it. And if you use the links below, I'll earn a whole 17 cents.